Oof, my laptop is slow. Everything's slow for me. Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Transfer Talk. It's my fault while we're late. I was watching other sports, which delayed our actual start time, so I apologise. For not just to Robbie, to all of you. Another one of those quick bulletins today. I'm happy that Robbie's here because we'll cover a few of the news stories we've heard in the last 24 hours, as well as fleetingly touch on today's game between United, more or less fringe players, and Derby. As always, hit the like button, subscribe for more if you're watching on YouTube, and if you're on Twitter with us this evening, please follow us for more of this content. We try our best to spread it out as much as we can across the United community. Robbie, how are you? And what have you been up to today?
Yeah, I'm good, mate. Obviously, I was just watching the game, the United game, and I suppose we can start off with that. And about the fact that a lot of players were playing today that I didn't expect to ever see in a United shirt again, or they get loaned out this season. So yeah, it was quite interesting in that sense, because we can obviously start off with the guy who hit the bar from an amazing shot, Jesse Lingard. So for me, I didn't expect to see Jesse Lingard come back to United. I didn't expect him. I expected him just to move on, just back to West Ham again. It seemed to kind of suit him. However, it seems as if he's possibly in Ole's plans. There hasn't been, many concrete reports about it. Obviously, it's like, we'll take Rice, you take Lingard, we'll give you some money on that end as well. There's still nothing concrete about that whatsoever. But yeah, if you get add to that, obviously I do like Jesse Lingard. However, I do think he should possibly move on.
Fair enough. We have obviously seen what he can do at West Ham in the 6-month stint that he was given post after not particularly being in favour at Old Trafford. It's clear that David Moyes wants him back. West Ham, I'm sure, would love to have him back, but Manchester United are trying not to make it look like he's being used in a make-weight for Declan Rice, and they know they can get him in a cut price deal because obviously something that has come up is the fact that United having accordingly spent well, we're talking structurally spending well, they could be going for more than just 2 signings this summer. So we'll touch on that in just a minute. I wanted to quickly get your thoughts, Robbie, on the match itself very quickly. Facundo Pellistri played today. He had a very good performance and scored as well. Have to mention Tahith Chong, who's going out on loan to Birmingham City as well, scoring this afternoon. In terms of the likely, because they're both likely to go out again, who are you impressed with this afternoon?
Obviously, so we'll just kind of brush over this very lightly because at the end of the day it is a transfer series. However, obviously we need to talk about the game today. And I didn't expect to see Chong play either. I thought, obviously, that deal was completely done, but Ole must want him for this window, get that over and done with. However, I thought he played very well, and obviously some of the young guys as well. I love Anthony Elanga. I think he's been great. Hopefully we'll see a lot of him this season. And also, I think that Hugo, I think he's got something about him as well. And probably the last guy, well, too, Pellistri was good too. It looks like, as Frosty has said, it was a great finish from Pellistri. He's been playing very well at the moment. And last season, he didn't get a lot of game time whenever he went on loan in Spain. However, hopefully he'll get much more this season. I can't see him staying over the season. There's been a lot of reports from Spain, from Deportivo, the newspaper in Spain, which you probably have seen certain someone been linked through that newspaper, Rafa Varane. There has been a few chats about Facundo Pellistri as well, and also Shola Shortai. I thought he was, he just got something about him.
Yeah, and I'm impressed, but we have to pronounce his name correctly because Ollie told us to, Shoretire, but Robbie has his way of saying it, what we all do. In case Ollie wants to tell us off again. No, there was impressive performances all round from the likes of Lingard, Shoretire, and others. So I think they've got plenty to look for in terms of the youth development to look forward to. They're definitely going to play a lot more during this preseason period. Now, on to the main topic. I'm sure the bit everyone is most excited about. It is the Rafa Varane deal. very quick summary. Varane is very, very, I don't know how much closer it could be, but according to various sources, including Fabrizio Romano and the majority of Real Madrid's finest journalists, they have all concluded that Manchester United are set to offer Real Madrid up to 50 million euros plus bonuses for the French World Cup centre-back. And he's been touted as probably the ideal partner to Harry Maguire for next season. He's signing a deal which is 5 years in length. It will also be a 12 million euro deal, which is what he seeked out for at Real Madrid. Something that David Alaba is being paid, but not him, which is what's led to him departing. And also, more importantly, it is the fact that he seeks out a new challenge and has seen the Premier League and Manchester United as that opportunity. So, Robbie, we're getting potentially, we obviously touched wood and everything. I have wood right here. Ollie's reaction in his post-match interview seems to be being done.
We'll
He's not hiding anything, is Ollie?
Yeah, we'll move on to this because, whenever I actually seen that, I watched the interview live. Don't worry, guys, I don't have my United TV. I watched it on a third. We
all did. Don't worry, Robbie. You're not the only one.
Hayes goal is great. It works perfectly. Definitely use that, guys. But no, we'll firstly talk about Varane and the fact that, the front page of... I'm really not good with these names. The French newspaper...
L'Equipe?
Sorry?
L'Equipe, is that the one you're talking about?
That's the one. Yeah. So today, on the newspaper, Rafa Varane, was the face of it. And it was headlined "Devil at Heart." And that really tells you something. The fact I do follow Madrid Extra as well, and they're a very great Twitter account. They follow absolutely everything in the news. And Man United, they're going to make an official bid by the end. They started this week, and then around like 60 million euros. So very similar, to what we've been saying throughout. And it seems like the kind of idea behind it all is we'll get this done so he can come in during pre-season because what we've been doing for a while at the moment. We've been bringing them in late on, and it's been taking its time to actually kind of work. Even Cavani, he came in the last day. It's not good enough. And I think if you manage to get these two guys in, Tom Heaton as well, who's a backup keeper, thought he was superb today as well. And possibly defensive mid. Fingers crossed.
Fingers crossed. It is.
There hasn't been concrete reports about that, Ahmed, either. I mean, obviously we look into it a lot. We'll report it as soon as it comes out. However, I'm not seeing much about Declan Rice, Bissouma, Camavinga. Yes, however, it seems to have died down at the moment. I don't know if that is the fact that possibly Varane's, in the woodwork to actually come to United. We're possibly focusing on that, or it could just have died down. And PSG are possibly the front runners. So yeah, a lot is going on, and I must say I'm happy so far in the window.
We all are. We were touching on the midfielding situation, and something that has come out according to FA por El Mundo. Francesc Aguilar has said that Saul Niguez's agent Jonathan Barnett is advancing negotiation with Manchester United, making United the front runners over Liverpool. Now, this obviously is linked to what you were just talking about regarding the midfield position. It is somewhat subject to Pogba and his departure. We're going to come on to that, but there's a sign that if that is the case with Saul Niguez, who's probably in terms of quality in the midfield, I'd say par with Camavinga, but it must be, as Red Frosty is saying, a tactic by his agent to push through the swap with Barcelona for Antoine Griezmann. It isn't, I would say something I'm a big fan of. I hope that this is just hearsay, and if it is going to be that, Barca will go and commit to this because they really want new blood, new faces in the club, especially with no money there. That his name is being linked with United just for this purpose, but we hope so. We hope he's just out nothing more. Unless Saul, he's a good player, he's a talent. We don't know what may happen with that.
You not think though that this happens quite a lot with United? Obviously, the fact that we get linked to these massive marquee players, to possibly, get a wage rise, to get a move elsewhere.
Yeah.
Push teams on in the deal. It seems to always be us and no one else.
Mm-hmm.
So for me, I think, Griezmann, I think that will be a tactic to push through the swap deal. I think you're correct with that. However, Varane, I really do think differently with that. And at the start, I wasn't even interested in it. However, as the times went on just now, I'm very confident it will go ahead. I'd actually give it a 90% probability, for it to actually happen. Because I follow certain guys. I'm very active on Twitter. I've got some friends. Obviously, I'm very, very friendly with United Link, who follows all the continental countries. Newspaper, translator, stuff like that, which is cut out with my reach. However, most of them are more reliable than us because we get places like the Sun trying to put through fake headlines. I seen the day that Chelsea are going to get Lewandowski for 50 million off Bayern, which is just embarrassing.
Ludicrous stuff.
I think I just pick out a hat that like what headline can we put up today just to get a few likes, a few clicks. But usually my IT's name's always in it. Because it generates money, it generates interest, generates clubs to try and move the deal on because we are one of the richest clubs in the world. But yeah, I just believe Varane's different.
Absolutely different gravy. The boy is 28. He's at his prime. For me, he's on par with Van Dijk as one of the best centre halves in the world, but not only because of his ability on the pitch. Yes, people are degrading him now because he's on the verge of joining Manchester United. Once, obviously, the I's and T's have been, we dot the I's across the T's. He's signed with a dotted line and holding up the red shirt. We'll obviously have lots of people who will want to say things that are not true of him in terms of his footballing ability. This is a man who's won the Champions League 4 times with the Real Madrid team, as successful as it was with Ronaldo, Bale, Benzema, Modric, Kroos. He was a part of a great duo with Sergio Ramos. He's won the World Cup, god damn it, with the World Cup. Pogba was in that team. I don't think Camavinga had even made his Rennes debut at the time, but he's playing with Camavinga in the national team. Could that help in swaying not only Pogba to stay at the club, but also to bring Camavinga to Old Trafford? But the general thing is, Varane has that commanding presence in a team. He has pace. He's wonderful on the ball. He loves playing those long diagonals either side of the pitch.
Recovery pace, though, is
the recovery pace is the most important thing. We've had to watch not slow centre backs. I wouldn't say our centre halves are slow at all. Maguire may not be the quickest off the ground, that's for sure. But we do see like players, our centre halves with somewhat average pace, with our like Bailly and Lindelof. His recovery pace, though, we're talking biblical, mate, biblical. And to see him possibly be doing that in a Man United shirt while helping hold this solid back line, Red Frosty's making that point. An immense partnership could be formed once, hopefully, again, touch wood.
It's probably like the best partnership in the league. And that's the thing, we've got the building blocks there. For me, I think, we're trying to get this deal done over the line. I mean, Sancho is done. I think there's just, some...
It is just dominoes across the T's. That's it, really.
Yeah. So Sancho, Varane, and hopefully, we've got a month left. We've basically got the whole of August to work on, fingers crossed, Trippier and a midfielder. Because Trippier has died down. But Ahmed, hopefully, we'll be sitting here next week and discussing Trippier's, the interest is starting to accelerate a bit more, because I think it's naive to say that he's a £35 million player, and hopefully they can be in agreement. Possibly, I think Jesse Lingard is a great player to use in any of these deals, either Rice or Trippier, because we've got a lot of attacking mids. Also, one Matt has signed on for another 2 years as well, which I don't exactly agree with, but we do have, backup there. And we've got some of the young guys coming through. So I think we've basically discussed all the transfer talk. However, we can go back to this one point quickly before we sign off. Obviously, these are just short roundups of how we get on in the window. Me and Ahmed we're addicted to Twitter. We're always on it, looking to.
Oh yeah, understatement of the century.
So yeah, we can go back to this point, obviously, about the post-match interview, because Ole seemed pretty giddy. He was on edge. He was excited by what was going on. The interviewer was not a Man United TV interviewer, just to confirm that. It was a Sky Sports interviewer. There's been a lot of confusion about that. And long story short, he basically said Sancho's done. However, he doesn't want to jump the gun and go with it and just say, oh yeah, we've signed him, and imagine something goes wrong. I respect his answer. Don Varane was quite funny. He kind of laughed it off, which you don't usually see. You don't usually see from him. So hopefully he'll manage to get Rafa Varane at his disposal for the upcoming season, because we know exactly what he can do. So hopefully next week in the next friendly, they can ask some questions about possibly Trippier or Declan Rice, because that will be the final pieces to the puzzle of our team, I would say.
Yeah, I agree. We've got, I hope, plenty of more news for you next week. If, as always, on Trafford Talk, I'm in self-isolation until Wednesday, so due to the absurd pinging that they've been doing this week. Obviously, last week was the European Championship final. I was there, not as a fan. I was working the event. So obviously, the Super Spreader event is what we call it. And alas, here we are at home once again. So if something happens and Manchester United agree a deal, I will hop on live, and I'm at home until Wednesday, so I can't do much else than just pop on where I can. I will hop on before Wednesday if something happens with the Varane deal, and we'll get all of your thoughts on it. Or if anything, or we get something somewhat. If we have no news, I'll be back on Wednesday as well to do another bulletin to just sum up what happened in the last few days. But yeah, Robbie, thank you very much as always. Really appreciate you sticking around.
I'm obviously doing the FPL podcast.
Oh yes, the FPL stuff. Oh, that's a great show, by the way. If you haven't watched it already,
I'm looking to bring out videos about upcoming players, guys who are cheap, possibly the overpriced players too. So I'm looking forward to
telling you, Bruno Fernandes, you have to buy him, otherwise you're not an FPL professional.
Yeah. Oh, I've got him in my team. If you guys have missed that out, the link's on YouTube and on Twitter as well. So yeah, good luck with that as well. We'll have giveaways going for that too. And one last thing, guys, we're still waiting on the winner for the Euro 2020 giveaway. I've tried to make contact with him. I've not got his Twitter. I've not got his Instagram. I've not got anything. And yeah, I'm going to put up on our post, and just whenever we go off here, I want to get the shirt out to them. But yeah, it doesn't seem to be happening. Maybe he's not a United fan and he just won because he's an avid fantasy football fan. But yeah, I'm pretty sure we'll hunt him down. And yeah, we've got more prizes coming up for the upcoming FPL season.
Thanks, Red Frosty. Appreciate it, mate. We do our best round here. We're small, but we're humble, and we will keep going until we have every United fan hearing what we got on up our sleeves. We've got plenty of tricks coming ahead of the new season, so stick with us here on Trafford Talk for more. Subscribe if you're on YouTube, and follow us on Twitter for more. Also hit the like button on YouTube. It helps a lot for us, and it also encourages us to keep on doing the content. We'll be back again, hopefully this week, if news pops up of Varane's agreement to the club. And we'll also, I don't know, anything could happen. Random waffle sessions may happen. You never know. Until then, guys, thank you very much for joining us tonight. Really appreciate it. And we will see you very, very soon. Until then,